Welcome, viewers. I'm Nia Douglas, and today I'm speaking with the president of the African Studies Club about the African Remembrance Wreath laying ceremony and why it's so important. Stay tuned.
Live Stream Cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Thanks for sticking with us. Today I'm joined by Art Christopher, the president of the African Studies Club, and today he'll be telling us about the wreath laying ceremony. That's an African remembrance ceremony, and why it's so important for persons in the BVI and persons of African descent particularly to celebrate this event. So Art, could you tell us a little bit about the event, its conception, and why we do it?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. So as you said, I'm here representing the African Studies Club, and this is our 14th African Remembrance Wreath laying ceremony. And we do this every year to give remembrance and to give some kind of reverence to all foreparents who came before us, particularly our ancestors that perished during the transatlantic slave trade, and for us to memorialize their contributions, their legacy, their sacrifice for us being here. So we're very happy to invite the community to come out and participate with us and engage in this annual ceremony that we do to give remembrance to our ancestors.
So you said this is the 14th year that we've done this event. Could you tell me about the first time that we did it and how it came about?
Well, it's kind of legend now, but our elder Gil Trott, he was the one that actually initiated this tradition that we carry on, and he was the one that did this by himself. So he just took some flowers and some wreath and took it to the ocean and gave a remembrance. And from that day forward, we memorialized it every year, and the tradition started from then.
Okay, for persons who are thinking, don't we pay homage to our ancestors during festival time, for example? Why do we need this particular ceremony?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that. Our festival time is indeed a period where we give, are supposed to give some homage to our ancestors and our foreparents. But we as the African Studies Club, we chose February because of Black History Month. And this ceremony basically begins our Black History Month programs and our community activities for Black History Month. I too would like to see our festival be more in line or upkeeping in terms of our African tradition or our African ancestry, and use it more of an opportunity to get to re-educate ourselves about our heritage.
And why is it important for individuals of African descent particularly to pay their respects to our forefathers? Why do you think, in your own words?
Well, there's a deep sense of humility, of gratitude, and there's a grounding that happens when every year, and people speak about it, when we engage in this ceremony in this way. It helps to keep us focused and grounded and remember who we are so that we can know where we're going. And so, you know the old saying, a tree without roots. And so we really honor that tradition and And it's a part of African culture to always give honor to our ancestors. And as part of that, we do what we call the libations. So, and that is a deep, deep part of African tradition. Almost anywhere that you go on the African continent, you see a tradition of libations. And so we're asking our community to remember these traditions, not to let them fall by the wayside, and to really move forward with confidence into whatever future we have as a people.
So you mentioned the libations just now. Could you run me through what this ceremony usually entails for persons who have never been to one before and might be wondering what you actually do?
Okay, so one of the main aspects of the ceremony is a libation. So in any African culture and tradition, before any significant event is begun, there is what we call pouring of the libations. And so we honor that tradition and we maintain it going forward. We also have a lot of singing and dancing and a lot of drumming. And so that's going to be a very important aspect of what we do. This year also we have a keynote speaker, which is Dr. Patricia Turnbull. And she's going to talk to us about decolonizing our educational spaces. And so we usually have a very festive event, and one that's filled with learning also. So, we encouraging our community to come out and to participate.
Well, some persons might be thinking, we're talking about our ancestors who perished. Would you say that it could be depressing? Or what would you say to people who might think that it's sad, kind of like a funeral, not a celebration?
Well, remember, from the African perspective, and I always have to say from the African perspective, we're talking about a transition, and so we're talking about the aspects of the spirit that still remain with us. And so part of what we're doing is to giving honor to their names by us living up to their expectations of us. And there's a deep thing that happens when we connect with honoring the legacy and the name of our foreparents. And so it's far from a somber moment. It's a time of celebration, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, can you tell us one last time where the event will be held, when it is? And I understand that it was postponed due to bad weather, because usually you have it earlier in Black History Month. So could you tell viewers exactly when and where the details are of the event?
Yeah, so we usually have the event on the first Sunday in February, and so that would have been last Sunday. And so because of the weather, we postponed it, and so we're having it this Sunday, which is the 13th, and it's going to be at the Craft Alive Village, right facing the seaside. And so it's going to be at 3 o'clock. So we want everybody to come out and to be there on time. And we're asking persons to dress in white. So, we're encouraging our community to come out and to have a good time with us.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, viewers. I'm Nia Douglas, and I just spoke to the president of the African Studies Club, Art Christopher, about the importance of the African Remembrance Wreath laying ceremony. Thank you so much, Mr. Christopher, and thank you, viewers, for joining us.